Alright, ladies and gents, as ever, my name is Shane, that's Shana's Games, and tonight we're going to be playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2, specifically the fan-translated Android version. This won't be our first time playing, so if you want to see how we got to where we are tonight, or check out some of the games we played in the past, be them obscure, unusual, or nostalgic, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. But for tonight, let's go ahead and get into the game, shall we? As usual, if you've ever played an Ace Attorney game before, Case 5 is the most difficult to recap because it eventually loops in every other case from the game. But the very, very short version is, the president of a foreign nation has been murdered. And as we've been investigating whodunit, it involves two things. Number one, the filming of a Godzilla-like movie, featuring a small child who we just found out is the illegitimate son of the president. And number two, part of a grand conspiracy, the depths of which we do not fully understand yet. I think that about covers the basics, so let's jump in and see what we find out today. So that's the end of the last chapter. Thank goodness for autosaves in this game, I'll say that again. We had a couple crashes last week, and we discovered that the game autosaves after basically every line of dialogue, which is spectacular, and I love technology. April 6, 4:51 p.m., outside Grand Tower temporary film lot. Also, as you can see, voice acting is getting challenging because we've got like every character ever on screen at all times. So this should be interesting. Excuse me. And here's some more coming in. Oh yeah, last time the kid ran off after discovering his shocking parentage, and also the fact that his dad's just died, and he just stumbled over his dad's body not knowing it was dad's body. This kid's gonna have some trauma, is what I'm saying here, basically. John? So that guy was my dad. Found out about his own birth so suddenly. I mean, most people just assumed that they were born at some point. Never mind, don't worry about it. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I've always been searching for my dad. John? I get it, alright? He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. Man, you don't know the half of it, kid. Let's see. The game heard you and said, what if we added more? There's some room in there for some more sprites. Cram them in there. Hey, Hooded Whale Hog, welcome in. How are you doing today? But even met face to face during the filming. So then why, huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. You don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, it's all my fault. Yesterday, I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. So there's a possibility that it's not a murder, that this kid accidentally killed the president? I'm sure that's not going to be the thing, because there's no such thing as an accidental death in Phoenix Wright, but right now there is very strong evidence for that. Also, extenuating circumstances suggesting that didn't happen, but we'll get to that later. My dad, and those flowers that my mom carefully grew. Basically, the kid thought that it would look like his mom killed the president, so he destroyed a bunch of evidence too, which is not helping anything. Let's see. Hooded Whale Hog, you're slowly getting back on your feet, but lots of work to catch up on. Everyone wants it now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. John! Please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay? The bond between a parent and child. That's the meaning behind the Lion Lyles. Lion Lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Zhengfa. However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lang, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, you're right. The recreation of the past is finished. Were your father's deductions correct? My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So, who knows if they were right or not? In that case, what about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation. So what we're talking about right now is basically what's happening right now appears to tie back to some sort of crime that happened 12 years ago and involved that other guy Lang's father. And it was an unsolved case there, so now we gotta solve that one too. Don't think about anything, that's my secret game, I never think. No thoughts, head empty. In order for us to get closer to the truth 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back, real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man uncovered. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped. Cameron just happened to witness it. Cameron hadn't been there. It probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. Is that what really happened 12 years ago? God, I don't fully remember everything we learned last stream, and that's going to make things complicated here. Alright, well at least we got the files from that. We'll look over those in a second. However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get? It's this. Why did they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all that trouble and even make the president take part in the photo? It's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. Yeah, basically what happened is we thought that the victim in that murder case had taken a photo before... taken a photo of the kidnapping before he was killed, but it looks like the photo was staged, which is very elaborate and weird. Laying out here in these streets like Marvel's Sabretooth, he'd probably be able to solve more crimes if he didn't spend so much time each morning on hair care. Alright, so real quick, let's go through what evidence we have, just so we're clear on that. We've got the Yatagarasu's badge, which had a bug in it. We've got the letter that says it's from K, but possibly isn't. Actually, I want to read that again now that we're talking about 12 years ago. To Ms. Crane, thank you so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad that we can help each other get what we want. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. K, supposedly. K doesn't remember writing it. We've got information about the black market auctions and the secret 51st floor of the Grand Tower. We've got crime scene notes here. The victim was Dijun Huang. Gunpowder residue was found in his right hand. That's right, we still don't have any information about that either. The yellow stain on his suit is pollen from lion lilies. Time of death, April 5th around 11 p.m. Cause of death, contusions and bone fractures found across the body, resulting from tremendous pressure. We suspect the head of a Godzilla critter was dropped on him. It was a movie set. And there's how we found him. We've got the monster footprints that originally looked like cloven hooves, giant cloven hooves, but now we think that standard bad guy Blaze DeBest may have been digging for something that was buried there 12 years ago. Hey, Rooks, welcome in. How are you doing today, Rooks? Old gunpowder hand soap. Please do not use old gunpowder hand soap. We've got the monster movie flyer, which if you haven't seen, this is the movie they're filming, Moozilla versus Gordy. Oh, the Pac-Man around his head, we actually figured out why that was. Supposedly the thing was buried inside of or in front of a flower bed. And the flower bed was square shaped. So he knew he didn't have to dig inside of the square shape just around it, hence the Pac-Man shape. That was a mystery for quite a long time. Let's see, we've got the combination lock on the front entrance, which was locked all night during the murder, whereas the rear entrance was forced open. Let's see, we've got the original Mozilla head, which may have been the murder weapon. If it was murder, it also may have been unintentional. You can see there's evidence of a fire down there, and also you can see his horn broke off, which you can see next to the body. No worries, Emperor. You know I'm always happy to fill in on those details. Excellent. This seductifies of Mozilla, oh god. We've got the Mozilla doll, which for some reason is able to record audio. And it belonged to the late president. We've got the commemorative photo taken yesterday, which he's not really enjoying that right there. We've got the security photo from the rooftop. Judge Courtney was seen going up with the president, but for some reason, only Courtney went down from the roof. We don't have any video footage of the president leaving. We've got Lada's testimony that the president didn't go through the 51st floor, which doesn't explain how the president could have gotten off the roof. But also Lada's just wrong most of the time. We've got the mysterious blue truck that was parked in front of the Grand Tower. We've got John's practice video when he was at the site near the time of the murder. We've got Blaze DeBest's mechanic gloves that he used when he was digging those holes. We've got the IS-7 documents from 18 years ago. That's basically from case 3 here, involving Edgeworth's father, Manfred von Karma, or sorry, not Edgeworth, Edgeworth's adoptive father, and also his actual father, Gregory Edgeworth, which was very important back then. Let's see. We've got the report on the connection between Knightley and Dogan, which involves case 2 in the game, and also implicates a connection between the warden, Patricia Rowland, and our villain, Blaze DeBest. Hey, Bort James, good evening. How are you doing today? Yeah, the Mozilla doll is kind of like a Teddy Ruxpin, but also, like, there's some implication that it has some sort of storage memory in its horns, and you can plug in different horns and turn them, and they play different things. It's very weird. Sure, Bort James, what's up? We've got the ring and the chessboard, which are evidence from the second case of this game, which were found in the mysterious storeroom on the 51st floor. We've got the bug that was inside the Yatagarasu badge, planted by our mysterious red-hooded villain, whose identity we still don't know. We've got the recording intercepted from the bug. We've got the bouquet of lion lilies right there, which was carried by the president when he was killed and then destroyed by John because he thought it was evidence. We've got the sleeping drugs that were used on both Kay and John when they were abducted by the red-hooded villain. And we've got what we just got here, the SS5 files. The president of Zhengfa, Di Junhuang, was kidnapped on February 10th, 12 years ago. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of $100 million. Dailong Lang confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. Prosecutor Blaze DeBest, suspect Patricia Rowland. Investigation notes the president had an appointment at midnight in the courtyard of the orphanage to meet with Amy Marsh. Jack Cameron was a witness. His body seems to have been moved and a fake photo was taken to serve as evidence. Complicated stuff. Oh, we've got Cameron's autopsy report here. Let's see. Cause of death: died instantly after being hit on the head with a brick. Was likely killed just after leaving a message from his cell phone. And there's the where he was found, but we also know he was moved there to stage a crime scene. We've got the message he left on Jill Crane's answering machine. Hello, Jill, are you asleep already? I'm in front of the facility now, but something's not right. President Huang is here of all places. And what's more, crap, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing now. I can't believe it, but it almost looks like he's being kidnapped. I thought I'd let you know. It's a weird way to sign off there. Wait, seriously, Bort James? I gotta check that out. That's insane. Now I'm hungry again. Sorry, Emperor. I was never much of a mustard guy myself. Let's see, we've got the fake photo they were just talking about right there, which, like, this isn't where the kidnapping happened. The kidnapping happened in front of the orphanage, and this was staged, and we're not sure why. We've got the blood-stained button that was held in the victim, found in the victim's hand, and we now know is from the snowman right here, because that's where he was killed. Let's see, we know there was a fire caused by a child's prank that destroyed some of the evidence. We found the victim's shoes, which didn't actually belong to the victim. Somebody put them on his feet to help sell the fake crime scene. We found the mysterious blood stain, which was under the victim, but isn't the victim's blood. And also we found a child's drawing, which we haven't even talked about in game, and like, there's a lot to talk about here. There is a lot to talk about here, and we're gonna be getting to that eventually, I'm sure. Just thought, you know, I'd like to see the president of a foreign country. Oh, hey, I'm gonna be home a little later. I'm picking up soda on the way home. Also, it looks like the president of a foreign country is getting kidnapped right here. That's pretty crazy, right? Oh God, the sinner sandwich. Let's see, anything else? No, that's it. All right, so we've got a ton of evidence right now. All right, so let's start pressing statements. There's no mistake. You know, let's not press the obvious ones. The president did go to the orphanage. We're pretty sure of that one. Let's see, the stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. That also seems to be true. However, the president was kidnapped and Cameron just happened to witness it. Let's start pressing here.
Hold it!
I'd also like to verify the details of this point as much as possible. Mr. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage. Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road. Then, the murderer picked up a brick, snuck up on him from behind, and wham! Ah! Okay, we're simply verifying what actually transpired. No need to be scared. Oh, so intense! Half the details of this case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Lang, let's carefully verify all the facts of this case. Ish. Well, if you're gonna listen, I'll talk as much as you want. I've said that before. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder.
Hold it!
No, just do this case loving. If he hadn't been there, you say. That's an interesting theory. Care to explain in more detail? It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw the kidnapping. Kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. No blood would have been spilled. Make it sound like it was his own fault for being there. Okay, that's not it. What Agent Lang is trying to say is simply, besides Mr. Cameron, there were no other casualties of the crime scene. Oh, was that all? Of course, that's obvious. The president was kidnapped, but once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound. Sounds like an obvious point, however, something about it bothers me. I need to reevaluate the evidence once more. Thankfully, we just did. You don't explain things to your assistant? I still have one last thing to confirm. I don't care, we already found the contradiction. We're heading back to that. This is the first contradiction. We need to start working on this one, because this is where things get weird. Let's see, Sinner Sandwich reminds me of how I once saw something called Christian salad in the menu of a cafeteria in a game, and I still wonder what it'd be like. Would it have graham crackers in it? That would not make a good salad. Oh God, I was talking to somebody about that the other day. It's like, when I moved into this apartment, like, basically all I knew how to make was spaghetti. And like, I was eating bachelor chow all the time. And like, just to show how far I've come, I'm now the type of person that has 3 different paprikas in his house. Which is not where I ever thought I'd be in my life, but here we are. So he says if Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have been just a kidnapping with no murder. I don't think that's true. I don't know why that's not true, but there's this thing. We found blood from somebody that wasn't Cameron. Somebody else was injured, if not outright killed that day. We're not sure why. That's a good start. I'll take it. I think I have 7 or 8 different types of pasta as well. Paprika is games. Triple paprika shop. I hope nobody does. That's a weird thing to be known for. Ooh, you finally got a proper Henkel's knife set? I just, like, last year, I think, got some proper knives, and it's been a game changer. Very nice, very nice. I also got a universal knife block, so I can just get good knives and just throw them in there so I don't have to have a set. Really happy with that, too. Yeah, just having a good knife that A is sharp and B is easy to keep sharp, I think is a big deal. Oh, it really is. It really is. Yours came with a block? That's fair. That's fair. Alright, so let's present this.
Objection!
Now, sharpener is good, but you want to get using a honer as well, which it may have came with as well. Oh god, air fryers are so fun. I've got some good recipes for those. Might be getting Baja Blast in Australia. I hope you enjoy it. Not top end, but they were great value for their quality. Like, honestly, as long as your knife is like sharp enough and like you can keep it kind of sharp, that's all that really matters. It does have the metal, a steel holding rod. Yeah, that's the important thing. Like, just use that a little bit every time you take it out, and it's a game changer right there. If the eyewitness Cameron had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? Criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would have been no need to commit murder, right? What if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large blood stain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, this blood stain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled. Quite a vast amount at that. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you have any idea what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe, however, that that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders. Are you saying the other murder was covered up? Just who the heck could have been killed? A murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased. The incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one thing, one piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. Oh god, I think I know what this is, but I really wish they would have given me an opportunity to save. They didn't, though. Let me get caught up on chat here. Yeah, don't hone over food. Oh god, yeah, don't do that. Don't eat metal fragments. It could be the fire here, but honestly, I think it's the child's drawing. Because there's some shit going on in here, we need to talk about it.
Take that!
Finally, yes, let's talk about this thing. The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaise de Best. However, there is still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang, it survived by your father's hands. Hell, man, you say? Please recall, there was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaise make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. Drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. You can tell because of his purple jacket and its absolutely insane hairstyle. The Mozilla is also drawn near him. The Mozilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is, that's an easy one. I've been waiting to get to this because I have so many questions, but I know who that guy is. I'm not gonna show the badge.
Take that!
A man with a knife and a large black dog. He's none other than Sirhan Dogan. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night at the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. I think I just figured out what he's getting at, and I think things are going to get a lot crazier than I thought they were. Then Miss Roland and Mr. Blaze were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around! You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? We just found his body today! He's been alive up until now! That's right! I mean, we met him ourselves! The president was assassinated 12 years ago, and the president's body was found today. That would imply there were two presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right! Are you sure about that? There is the possibility that there were two presidents. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. Even so, I still respect the man. Zhengfa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. The image of President Huang that Agent Lang described. You're wrong. He revealed his true form. Differs far too greatly from the President Huang we knew. It's as if they were two entirely different people. If there were, in fact, two Zhengfa presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What would make the existence of the two presidents possible? That's easy because we've been talking about this before as well. An actual surprise on the way? I actually didn't expect that coming. Like, it makes sense in retrospect, but holy shit. Doppelganger! If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, would it be possible then? We do know that the president used body doubles and had foiled several assassinations in the past by use of body doubles. Body double? President Huang possessed immense power and authority in Zhengfa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gourd Lake. It's true, there were those who sought Huang's life from time to time. I can't easily believe that there were two presidents. At least, not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? Do I? I don't know about that. Jesus. Oh God. Yeah, I'm glad you think so, Miles. Well, there is one thing we saw this morning. Hang on. Not that. Yeah, we've got so much evidence right now. There it is. Dailong Lang confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. But he was murdered right around then. How is it in the embassy and at the orphanage? Hey, Nano, welcome in. How are you doing today, Nano? How's your week going?
Take that!
Has Agent Lang not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it but can't admit it? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. I like that in canon he's actually just being silent while we're flipping through the options. I know, this music's some of my favorite. According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. Oh, it locked up, damn it! Hang on, it froze on me. Give me just a second. Oh, right when we got the cool music and everything. Alright. Get that pulled back up. Thank goodness for autosaves once again. Back there. And see if we can get it loaded again. There we go. There we go. Contradiction's so great it broke the stream. God damn it. He was obviously just that fast. He was just jogging across town. However, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. So Agent Lang, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. Then, which of the two is the real president on that day 12 years ago? Most likely, the one who died. Who? Who contracted Dogen to murder Huang? In order to learn that first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. And the piece of evidence we know to be false is... the photo.
Take that!
The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who is the president pictured in the fake photo? Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. We must consider him to be the body double. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Patricia Bolden and Blaze must have cooperated in that plan. Hold it! Huang's body was never found! Just where could he have disappeared to?
Objection!
The answer to that is already quite apparent. Wait, you're not... What? He's not saying what I think he's saying, is he? You can't possibly be saying what I think he's saying. This is getting insane immediately. Absolutely immediately. Oh my god. I'm hesitant to even click on this, but like... We know that Blaze was digging for something. And we knew Patricia Rowland mentioned something was buried in front of the flower beds.
Take that!
Last night, there was something Blaze had to unearth with his own two hands. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. Ah! So Blaze unburied the real president's body. Possibility is quite high. What'd you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would still have remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline. Both for the movie and for retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up. Yeah. The body was buried there. There'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. I know the final cases are always crazy, but like I didn't see half of what we just went through coming, so that's amazing. I have the results of the search. We found traces in the dirt that suggest a body was buried here. So it was Huang after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaze DeBest dug up. They were in his home. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. So the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS-5 incident was a murder. Alright, so we got that settled now. Holy shit. So the SS-5 incident was actually a murder incident. But there's so much information, it's way too confusing. Indeed. Let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. Thank you! First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago, the true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the president at that time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin Sirhan Dogan. Came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. How horrible. A man like Dogan shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed, Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogan, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment from the orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had come to meet up with Blaze and Ms. Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, killed by the body double. So, was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. I've already figured out how he accomplished that. There's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. I think I know what that is, too. Things are slowly starting to come together here. The Cowardly Lion, it would say. That's actually a good name for him there, I like that. Zombies! It's the shoes, right?
Take that!
This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time. If you made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president, it wouldn't actually be easy while you're carrying a whole-ass body. Ah, since the shoes were the same, there would be only one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think you got a pretty good grasp on the SS-5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. And what's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? As Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident, he saw the president at the orphanage. He left behind witness testimony on Ms. Crane's answering machine. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared the fake kidnapping charade. The people in the fake photo are the body double and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Ms. Rowland? What makes you say that? The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprints. Ah, so the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed. We originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadows of the presidential kidnapping was the presidential assassination. See, so that's why my old man. It's not that difficult, you think, Nano? Maybe I'm just out of shape, that's possible too. Why he... what? The old man must have realized that a murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to have known that Huang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then? Revealed the death of the president, the backbone of Zheng Fa? Would have caused chaos. And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that it would be the fall of House of Lang. So this is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. Now it's all become clear. Alright, the SS5 incident files have been updated to what actually happened now. Yeah, these plots are so elaborate. Like, when they work, it's just mind-blowing. I love it. I love it so much. Also, if anybody really likes these complex, elaborate cases, I have to take a moment to hype up my favorite manga of all time. I don't believe it's ever been officially translated into English. There is a fan translation out there that is very good. It's called Liar Game. And it has some of the most elaborate plotting I've ever seen, but not in the, they just keep throwing twists in. Like, it's made by a group of 3 or 4 separate writers, and they actually mentioned, like, they stop publication for several months at the end of each arc to plot out all the complex threads of the next arc to make sure everything will fall into place at the end. It's so good. It's so good. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's so good, relentlessly. Always glad to see somebody that's seen it before. Oh my god. Like, just... like, the second reread is just as good as the first, because you're like, oh my god, they were hinting at it the whole time. Absolutely devoured it when I read it. I read it 3 or 4 times at this point. It's like a couple years reread for me. It's so good. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know that they can ever do something like that again. Gotta read it as well. You gotta check it out. It's so good. Is that really the case, I wonder? Oh god, who's this now? Huh? What? Who's there? What the fuck? That bell. It's... Sirhan Dogan! Who we remember from Case 2, he's a world masterclass assassin who was supposed to be in jail, but then he just broke his ass out. Oh god. Yeah, let me put it in chat real quick. It is called Liar Game. Oh, hey buddy. You! Why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just, well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Huang! Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I'm searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with the young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. The red raincoat? Who is this person? I suspect that it's the same person as the mastermind you're searching for. Someone you've been searching for. The one in the red hood. Red hood? They seem surprised, Anubis. Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. I like how nobody's trying to arrest the escape from jail master assassin here, despite the fact we've got 2 prosecutors and several law enforcement officers. Like, somebody tackle this motherfucker. What the hell? I'm gonna say right now, I've never played this game before. I have no spoilers. I don't know in the slightest what's about to happen, but I promise you this guy escapes from this crime scene. Oh, God. Hey, Groshin, welcome in. How are you doing today? I would pet the dog. I know it's a bad idea, but I would do it. He looks like such a good dog. He does. Even though we know that in canon, that dog has killed. Seriously, I'm not making that up. Yeah, I do like that he's got the boss right there. Seriously, oh, this guy was in jail last time we saw him, but he broke out. Certainly, it was I who killed President Wang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double Blaze and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. So your client was indeed the body double who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There have been countless attempts on my life. Not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president does. Tell me, just what is the difference between him and me? The difference was great, while the voice and style of speech may be the same. One can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. Is he saying the body double was his... Wait. Was his own weakness cost him his quest to become the leader? Now the Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all. The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country. So he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came at the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. You must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? You mean the boy who saved you? How do you know that he's the mastermind? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. Ah, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank! A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime later. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then, the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. How are they using an oil lamp in, like, the late 80s, early 90s? No, this would have been the 90s if my timeline's right. Why did they have an oil lamp in the goddamn 90s? My parents have always had large dogs, so if someone tells me to imagine a dog, that's the kind of dog I think of. Anything smaller than that is a small dog, that's fair. Because they can, I guess they could, but like, I thought orphanages were cash strapped. Like, I don't think lamp oil would be that cheap to get these days. Ah, no way! So you set the fire in order to... All the focus was diverted towards the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. So the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case. Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy, yes it is. Alright. Certainly it was I who killed her. Alright, so yeah, we'll save here. Oh god, this is complex. Lamp oils for authenticity. Oh, it's one of those old Victorian style orphanages. Gotcha. Don't worry about the plot holes. It's all I worry about, Emperor. Oh god. Alright, give me just a moment, folks. I gotta blow my nose. I'll be right back. Orphanticity Emperor, oh my god. I think it's especially weird because they could have just had like a lawnmower there with a can of gas next to it. Like that wouldn't be an anachronism. That would have been easy to do. People have lawnmowers, people have gas cans for the lawnmowers. Lamp oil is just weird. All right, so I don't know where to start with this conversation, so we're just gonna start pressing from the beginning. You admitted that rather easily. These days, I've long grown tired of killing. But in those halcyon days, I'd devoted myself to the path of an executioner. If one cannot admit that much, what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, my boy. I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying he has no feelings about the president's death. Though he the assassin and escaped prisoner, he should be a despicable opponent, but silencing him now would be imprudent. Just keep my composure and let him talk. His doggo does love him, but even the baddest guy can be loved by the goodest dog. The gasoline evaporates too fast. Clearly this is done by an experienced orphan. This kid's been doing this for a while, apparently. Pet that dog! I understand your point. You killed the president. That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark. However, my life was also targeted on that day. Your life was targeted. You, the assassin. The hunter becomes the hunted. The Buddhist becomes the Buddha. Hey, you don't have to make up strange proverbs. Life is transient, especially for an assassin whose life is always exposed to danger. So, does that mean people you tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was different. So the body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal his lips. It's a hard, dark life for arsonists. Probably is, honestly.
Hold it!
Sirhan Dogan, you are a master assassin. As such, could you not have evaded an attack from those three and fled the scene? You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not have even been able to walk about. If those three were to attack me all at once, I would not stand a chance. Oh yeah, supposedly he's blind. So yeah, without his dog around, he'd be at a bit of a disadvantage. I see. So even an assassin will fall to superior numbers of frontal assault. I suppose one could say that. I, Sirhan Dogan, would have suffered a shameful defeat. Is Dogan gaslighting? No, that was the kid. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger.
Hold it!
Reunited? So, when did you first meet with him? That would be 18 years ago, on the 24th of December. That's a rather long time ago. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed something and started running. Excuse me. I followed after him and found a car. I had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. In the back seat, there were two young children, shivering from the cold. Two children? Oh God, I know where this is going and I don't like it. Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have froze to death. I brought the two of them to a nearby orphanage. Anything about Dogan's story that concerns me? Yeah, there is! What concerns me is... the 24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that? There's no mistake. Could that mean... I know. The significance behind that date. Oh God, just when I thought this was already insane, this is about to get 12 times more insane. I believe it's this one right here. December 24th, 18 years ago. Oh my God. That's the day Isaac Dover was murdered. Oh, the IS-7 incident from case 3. Oh, relentlessly, she likes snow. Some dogs do, some dogs don't. Also, we had a really weird week here in Chicago. On Friday, it got up to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and then on Sunday, it snowed all day. Chicago, ladies and gentlemen.
Take that!
That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. Ah! During that incident, two young boys went missing. The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dane Gustavia. We never did find out where those two boys went after the case 18 years ago. Oh, they were the sons of a victim and a culprit? It all makes sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed, Gustavia was using his own son as a taste tester. To think that was what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened. They lost their memories? How convenient. The acolyte told me this when they were reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. The trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name. So they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia. Indeed, while we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. We've narrowed it down to 2, but like, that's still too broad for us. She loves snow when she's under a year old, so it's her first. Oh, it's so cute. Dogs are the best. Dogen, would you please continue your story? Very well. Alright, so that was what we needed to find from there. I continued my correspondence with the young acolyte even after entering prison. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. Left me quite concerned. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison. It was involved 12 years ago. When Patricia Rowland blazed the best and President Huang's body double. And Ms. Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison. I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason. You murdered President Huang. However, the world still believed he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was a fake, both Patricia Rowland and Blaze the Best would have been in danger. That is correct, and I heard the proof with my own ears. I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. Might you be? My apologies, but I am presently waiting for someone. I'm well aware of that. President Huang, are you not meeting with your son? However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I seek only the president's life. Can't be. Please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. Sure, this will be the first and the last time. Please, at least wait until we're finished. I thought the president would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the president had no son. However, he shook his head and said, this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end. Would that son of his be the boy with horns over there by any chance? Boy? With the horns? Wait, you can see John's horns? There's no need to see them. From the moment I escaped from prison until now, I've been closely lending an ear to your voices. It said that the president made preparations towards recognizing his son. The word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it! There's one thing that could prove Huang's words. The will held by the House of Lang. There's also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world. The name on the recording, the mention of preparations, and the will in Zhengfa. Together, they suffice to make the warden bow to my words. Those three pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double by using John. The president blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As pieces of it fell on top of the snow, I struck once more. This time, the blow proved fatal. Dogen cut off the Muzilla doll's horn. None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the president's secret son. Alright. Interesting. Save this. So as with the last statement, I'm not sure there's a contradiction here, or we might just need to pull out some more information for what he's saying. Assassins is so sneaky, they is. It's true. Hearsay, you say? All I hear is irrefutable proof. For some reason, sometimes witness testimony is hearsay, and sometimes it's just... It is. I don't know, Ace Attorney's weird. Although he's got a point about the will, because the will mentioned the son by name. Alright, so he continued his correspondence with the young acolyte even after entering prison.
Hold it!
In other words, you contacted him from prison. That is correct. A post office box was used. Post office box? Would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location. I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondences, after all. You must mean the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondences? Well, there are mainly moves from my correspondence chess matches. Correspondence chess? If I recall, the person you were playing against. Might be hard to believe, but Dogan's chess opponent was... Ah, are you saying he was playing against Mr. Knightley? Wasn't it Horace Knightley? I certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. Oh sure, let's throw more evidence in my inventory. Does that mean Knightley Boy was the kid from the IS-7 incident? Could that really be true? There any evidence connecting Knightley to the IS-7 incident? Oh god! Sure, ask me the easy stuff, why don't you? Jesus Christ. Oh, well. We got the note from Patricia Rowland that says that they were chess partners the whole time. Man pulled some strings and got that custom printed. I mean, if you can, you should, I think. Como, welcome in. How are you doing today? I mean, the good thing is now we've kind of hammered out some of the details of how the legal system works in the Ace Attorney universe. It's not always consistent, but like, we've got some of it here at least. I suppose there is. Oh, jeez. Alright, well, let's see, what else do we have about Knightley here? We've also got this. The ring and the chessboard. We know that. But we know he was, you know, big into playing chess right there. Oh, hang on. This is going way back, so this is before the hiatus, so I don't fault you if you don't remember this, but I remember there was something odd about that ring. And it never got answered in case 3. Or the more boss, you know, the legal system doesn't work. How do they ever convict anybody that actually did things?
Take that!
This was all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue hidden within? What should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? We already looked at the chessboard, and I think we found everything to find in there. But the ring has an unanswered question to it. This ring is... Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring. This pattern is... It's Pierre Hoquet's. He was the alias of Isaac Dover, the sculptor who was murdered in the case from case number 3. Let's see, Como went to bed at a reasonable time, so of course that means I'll wake up at like 5 a.m. Never fails, I'm so sorry. I thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't it have been held by the police as evidence from the IS-7 incident? After the incident, the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin. And Mr. Dover's only family was his son. Since no one knew where the son had gone to, it took a while to get it to him. I heard that the police had finally found him and delivered its inheritance, but So the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son. And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. So, Horace Knightley was Isaac Dover's son? It sounds like? Jesus, that seems complicated. So, Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son. Police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal. If someone involved in the IS-7 incident was his chess opponent... Knightley, huh? That man must be the mastermind behind this case.
Objection!
But Knightley's dead. He cannot be involved in this incident. How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself a murder victim. But a dead guy can't be the culprit, so there's no way that's right. Certainly is strange. In that case, who is the culprit? Well, there's literally only one person it could be, so... You know, there's that. We've narrowed it down to literally one person. We could just go there, game. We could just go there if we wanted. There are so many puzzle pieces going around. I don't think anybody this whole time has seen the whole picture in game. Like, even Dogen here has been surprised several times, even though he knew a bunch of stuff we didn't know. It's too big of a picture for anyone to have pieced together until now. I'm struggling too relentlessly. This is crazy. If you got any questions, though, I'll try and fill in the blanks. Hey, Valkos, welcome in. Slept in too much? Decent problem to have, at least, but hopefully some coffee perks you up. The dead guys are actually the best culprits you can get. You don't even have to take them to court. You just throw them in a hole. Even Dogen's mega brain can't handle this amount of insanity. It does look like it's trying to escape his skull. Alright, so recently that all came to an abrupt halt, which left him concerned.
Hold it!
Came to a halt. Now of all times? Quite odd, is it not? Anubis told me again and again how odd it is. That scary dog talked? Was he like, something's odd, woof? I can understand Anubis' heart, even if he does not voice his thoughts. There's something I'd like to ask, just in case. Your scary dog's staring at me right now. He's not saying, I'm hungry, I want some meat, right? Perhaps. Perhaps? Mr. Edgeworth? She's not much good with the assassin's dog. Good boy, there's a good boy. So then, at any rate, my correspondence with the acolyte suddenly came to an abrupt halt. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. Coffee brewing as we speak. How was your work week? No, this was actually my slowest work week in almost 2 months. One of the big projects we've been working on is finally starting to wind down. And plus a massive inventory shortage we've been struggling with is starting to get filled, so things are getting better. Things are getting better. Thank you for asking.
Hold it!
It certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence. The body double of Di Junhuang, president of Zhengfa, faked an assassination point. Treasure Roland, the prison warden, murdered Horace Knightley. And Blaise de Best, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Crane. Come to think of it, as I've been investigating these cases, I felt the presence of some force behind the scenes. As we know that the PIC has been trying to get Edgeworth disbarred, but we weren't 100% sure why. Even within the prison, I could tell this was no insignificant event. We grew more and more curious, and so we absconded briefly from the prison.
Hold it!
You absconded briefly from the prison. I cannot forgive such a criminal act. You stole your way out of prison. I cannot forgive such a thieving act. Relax, no one was hurt. I merely have connections that allow me to set foot outside. But even so, you can't just escape from prison, pal! Arrest him! Arrest him! That won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell. Trying to make fools of us? Prison isn't the kind of place you can just enter and leave at will. The wolf may say that. But one can see that the wolf and his pack also share an interest in the tales of my past.
Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. There's still a few things I must ask Dogan. Please postpone matters until then.
Yes, sir! I knew you'd say that, Mr. Edgeworth! Damn it all. But I'm not taking my eye off you for a second.
Alright, so... I don't remember him saying this before. Writing letters in Braille can be a rather enjoyable pastime. Was that part of his statement originally?
Hold it!
Excuse me, but you wrote your letters in Braille?
Indeed, for I possess the tools necessary to write in Braille. Wow! So you need to use tools to write in Braille? I never knew.
Then would you please tell us what you wrote?
Everything. Letters, of course, and also the movements of the chess pieces.
You wrote the movements of the chess pieces by hand. That statement is intriguing.
So then, how does your handmade dog piece move?
Okay, that question can wait. So then, what did you do when the letters stopped coming?
Within the prison, I grew increasingly concerned about the acolyte's whereabouts. Okay, but even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this acolyte?
Indeed, Dogan himself has not made that clear. What's important is the thread connecting Dogan and his acolyte, their correspondence. Not just the letters, you should pay attention to the means that was used as well.
Alright, so it sounds like that last statement's where we want to go.
Writing in Braille can be a rather enjoyable pastime.
And basically, as I understand it, to write in Braille, you need like a stamp to emboss on the paper.
I know there's certain typewriters that'll do that, which is interesting.
Valkos, your buddies and you were working on music last night, came up with an idea to help writer's block. Decided to look at pictures of scenes of games we've never played, and the idea is, oh, that's really cool. Alright, yeah, definitely. I'll let you know, Valkos. That's a cool concept. I like it. Alright, so... talks about writing letters in Braille, but... we've got this letter that was supposedly sent from Dogan, but as it says there, it was typed on a word processor. I don't see any Braille there.
Objection!
I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille.
Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not?
The correspondence chess letter we found had been typed out using a word processor.
What? That cannot be.
What do you mean?
So, someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer?
Would another person have acted as a middleman between Dogan and Knightley?
What do you mean?
Dogan wrote his letters in Braille. However, by the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor. We must assume that some middleman rewrote those letters.
And the reverse could also be said. That same somebody might have taken the letters Knightley wrote and re-delivered them to Dogan.
Yes, that is indeed true.
Alright, so the mastermind was acting as a proxy to get the letters delivered. It's incredibly complicated.
Knightley and Dogan both communicated through a certain individual. Dogan, were the letters that reached you?
They were in Braille, of course. So Knightley Boy's letters must have been transposed by the same person as well. Oh, that somebody must be
the mastermind behind the case.
You're saying there's someone else who's the mastermind behind this case? Then who the hell is it?
Dover's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there is one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind. You mean Dame Gustavia's son? What? Who the heck is he? If Knightley is Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be... Well, we're the only friends either of us have had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never really had families, and we never had real families. Can't be. Could it? Could it really be him? Treasureth? What is it? Got all pale. Figured it out. The identity of the mastermind who's been controlling this case from the shadows. What? Who in the world is it? Oh god. I'm glad he's figured it out. I'm real proud for him. Knightley and missing the Braille? There's a harp player on YouTube who composes her own versions of game soundtracks of games she's never played. She did a Chrono Trigger sample and it was super cool. I think I know the one you're talking about. I think I've seen her on TikTok. Yeah, I mean, I imagine there aren't too many harp players on social media that own a lot of guitar pedals. So, yeah, I think we're thinking of the same person right there. I don't want to believe it myself, but it is someone we know quite well. The mastermind is... Oh, of course. God damn it. Hey, Roadbug, welcome in. Now I know I shouldn't have been so hard to watch these on different days and times. Yes, I had to change after my hiatus due to a change of jobs, unfortunately. I tried to keep it as close as I could to before, but this is the best I could do. How are you doing today, Roadbug? Hope everything's been going good with you. Oh, God. Someone we know quite well. I don't think it's anybody on this page, because I don't think we know... Like, the only person that could possibly be here is Penny Nichols, and we don't know anything about her, so it's not her. And everybody else just isn't involved with the tribe, I'm sure. Couple of possibilities there. Most of these people are dead, so probably nobody there. Either dead or already implicated in the crimes. Just Buggy, excellent, excellent. Yeah, Emily something, that's the one, that's the one. Like, she has a shitload of guitar pedals too, it's impressive. So like, it could possibly be these three down here. We don't really know a ton about Will Powers, I don't think. And also, he's been in like a previous game. I think he's fine. Regina Berry? I mean, you know, the cutesy ones are always suspicious in Ace Attorney games. I suppose that's a possibility. He was lurking around the trial, and we weren't really sure why he showed up. And he is the one we know more about than anybody else. Ain't she the delusional one in the circus? I think they're pretty much all delusional at that circus. That place is horrible. Let's see. Dean Winchester, welcome in. How are you doing today? Sorry, it took me a second to parse that name. Could it actually be the monkey dude? I mean, it seems unlikely, but like, who else could it be? I don't know who else it could be if not him. And Plushie, welcome in. How are you doing today, Plushie? How was your stream? What were you playing? Tell me everything. And for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Shane. That's Shady's Games. I play the obscure, the unusual, and the nostalgic. Today we're playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2 as we get near the end of the game right now. Oh god, it could actually be the monkey because the monkey does appear to be ratatouilleing him. Can I use that as a verb? Can I do that? Does that work? Could be Gumshoe, I suppose. I don't believe Gumshoe is competent enough to do this. Oh, Suikoden 2! I have been wanting to play the Suikoden series. Because I've never played a Suikoden game before. I wanted to play Suikoden 1 and 2. I almost did stream it at one point, but once they announced the remasters, I decided to hold off. How are you liking them so far? I would love to hear your thoughts about Suikoden in here. Looks like you're suggesting this is some monkey business. We may have a murder monkey on our hands, Emperor. That's a possibility here. Gumshoe. Let's see. 1 is fantastic. They took it and shined it up. It's perfect for Suikoden 1 now. Excellent, excellent. That's so good to hear. Hey, DB Stewart, welcome in. How are you doing today? The deepest of cuts imaginable. Oh, God. It might be the monkey. Let's try this. Let's try this insane route. I mean, even Edgeworth is like, it can't be, right? It can't be.
Take that!
Mastermind behind the case sent a letter to Jill Crane, which deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. However, all of his actions, the one I've not been able to get out of my mind. Is how he brought an unconscious K to the rooftop. Oh! Oh, that's the thing. Because we know who was in and out of the plaza that day. There was only 2 cars in and out of the plaza. One of them was the taxi cab, and we know everything about the taxi cab. That means the only car that was unaccounted for was the blue car, which looked an awful lot like it had a tent in the back. Interesting. 2, I have fairly minor complaints. It's really great, and of course the same old story. I loved enough to put the runes as tattoos on my upper arms. I never knew that plushie. That's really cool. I'm sorry it has minor issues, but I hope overall it's been a good experience going back to it. Let's see. I've lost tracks. Do we know who caused Kay's injuries? No, I think we're about to find that out right now. Before, we only knew it was a mysterious figure in a raincoat. And so, like, all of Case 5, we've been trying to figure out who that is, but I think we're starting to pin that down now. The giant monster. Huh? Did you just say something? That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is the monster's true form. Oh, I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Berry Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Miss Swift, there is something I would like to ask of you. What? You mean me? You said that you recorded the sound of Moozilla spewing flames. Would this decisive evidence of yours be something you recorded on that tape recorder? That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. You're good at figuring things out, aren't you? It's the sound of Moozilla spewing out fire. This place nearly became a sea of flames. That's right. I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to the tape? Sure thing. There we go. Sound. It's as I thought. I think I just figured out what he's thinking of. And it is like he said, something that it was sort of a plot hole that we didn't put together before. Something that happened that we didn't have an explanation for, but nobody brought it up. But now all of a sudden I'm like, oh God. It's insane. It's deranged. It's feral, but like, I see where he's going. The true nature of the monster and the mastermind. All of my logic is coming together. Ms. Hart, you said that you captured a giant eye on film, did you not? Sure did, right here in this photo. But we cannot confirm like this. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Lend us your film analysis device. Okay, but what do you want to analyze, sir? This photo, please. I'm on it! We're gonna zoom and we're gonna enhance. Is there a new clue in this photo? Alright, so she said that she saw a giant eyeball outside of the window, but we couldn't really see it in the photo ourselves, so let's see if we can zoom and enhance. I mean, that does look like a big fucking eyeball. But also, I think that now that we see it with our own eyes, I think there's more to it than that. This is... See? Ain't the Mozilla's eye right where I said it would be? I see. I have finally grasped the true form of the giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind. Mozilla, run! Eureka! Giant monster! Are you admitting it? You are, ain't you? You're admitting the mighty Mozilla's real.
Objection!
No, this is not Mozilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Please have a look at this. It's a flyer for the it's a flyer for the Berry Big Circus? Ah! This is... Do you see it? It's not super obvious. Take a second and look at this. See if you can figure out what ties all of this together. Hey, Finkelroy, welcome in. I just need to get a better look with my peepers. How's everything going, Finkelroy? Hope you're doing well. Precisely. There is a rather large balloon with the head of a lion pictured here. So you don't automatically notice that little cart down there. But yeah, that's a balloon up there. This balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound Ms. Swift recorded, which she believed to be Mozilla spewing flames. Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're gonna say something that'll shatter my dreams of a scoop. Hot air balloons fly by using burners to heat the air, right, sir? Precisely, Detective. The mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kay to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator. Wouldn't that mean that the mastermind is someone connected to the circus? He's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Gustavia's son. Who'd have thunk it? An apprentice beast tamer? He's no amateur. See, he's getting ratatouille. For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. Simon Keys. He is the mastermind behind this whole incident. Mr. Keys was really behind it all? No way. I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. How could it have all been a lie? That's just heartbreaking. Hey? What is it? Hey, you! Stop! Where do you think you're going? The boy with horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Why did the kid notice the assassin sneaking off and none of the actual cops on the set? These people are the worst at every aspect of their job. This is a seriously carpet-deprived series. It's true. It's true. Maybe that's why everybody's so cranky and murdering all the time. They need that plush pile underneath them. Yeah, that bear trap. It also snaps shut whenever whenever she gets really surprised. Gumshoe actually knew a thing. It's a weird day today. Apatui? Ratatape? I like Ratatape. That's a good one. I know, the music in this game is so good. Like, the final breakdown songs in pretty much every game are always amazing.
Now that I've heard that, I have no further business here.
What? Wait, Dogen! Oh god!
Damn it, where'd he vanish to?
I knew it. I told you I knew he was getting away from this. There's literally one entrance and exit from this place that's open right now, and also there's a bunch of cops lurking around. They're all so bad at their job. Also, did Edgeworth just get attacked by a dog? Is he alright? Has anybody asked that question? Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? There we go. Yes, I'm fine. However...
That guy.
John?
That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right?
It's no question more difficult to answer. However, there's no use in denying the truth. Yes, John, you are correct.
He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I'll make him pay myself.
It's a hilarious place to use overruled as the sample. Yeah, you just sit down his dog like a Pokemon. You even had him use like head bash or something like that. Took Edgeworth right the heck out. John, you mustn't finish that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind.
Sir, I put out an APB on Dogen. All available police units will be searching for him. They won't find him though, because they're bad at their jobs. You heard the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the mastermind right now?
Agent Lang is right. Our top priority right now should be catching the mastermind. He said he would be practicing. He's most likely at the Very Big Circus tent.
Please don't make us go to the Very Big Circus.
First, Agent Lang, I have a request.
A request? What is it?
Now that we've identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnapping incident.
Roger that, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, I want to help out too.
In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he is truly the mastermind, we may require assistance from a certain someone. Met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have gotten the better of me in the past, but this time I'll settle it once and for all.
Yeah, the circus case is like the only case in Phoenix Wright that I just could not stand. All right. Oh God. So now the question is, do we stop here or do we go on to the final segment? Oh God, that's tricky. That's tricky because this is the final case, and final cases tend to be very, very long. So there's a very good chance that the next segment is going to be very, very long. Oh. And plus I got places I gotta be today, so. I still like Max Galactica, but God, that case is terrible. Yeah, he was a cool character, but that clown. I'm not even one of those I hate clowns guys, but that clown in the Very Big Circus case was the bane of my existence. Oh, Mo the Clown, that was the one. Oh my God. I hate him so much. Oh dear God, yeah. Like there's some cases are better than others in Phoenix Wright, but the only case that I actively dislike is that one. Oh, it was a slog. It was a very long one too, and a lot of it was just seriously just going back and forth between not the circus and the circus over and over again. It was exhausting. Jane, you have one place to be, bang your head against the desk with lawbreakers. Today has been insane. So many twists, so many turns, so many wild secrets. It's been absolutely crazy.
I hope you folks are still enjoying this, because I really am. I do think we're going to save the last part for tomorrow. Just because, like I said, I do have... Like, I gotta be somewhere in like 2 hours. And... like, there's a very good chance this is going to be like 2 to 3 hours of case. So, I don't think I can afford to today, unfortunately. And like, I don't want to get like part way into the ending and then just have to leave like 20 minutes before it's over. Because that would be mean. That would be mean. I'm not that mean. That monkey puppeteering an ape pulling wild monkey business again? I still want to see someone suggest the monkey was the mastermind. Please let that be a thing. Board Jams is past 1 a.m. for you as well. That is super late. Alright, I appreciate that, Roadbug. That animal-controlled human mecha again? It would be kind of be a mecha from his perspective. A mecha made out of meat. The grossest mecha. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here today. I appreciate the heck out of it. Meat Mech! That's gonna be my new band name right there. I hope you folks will be here tomorrow because finally after... God, what is it? Close to a year at this point? Finally, we are going to be finishing this case. The revenge case that we left unfinished when I went on hiatus. I'm gonna be really glad to finally say that I completed this because I was so frustrated that I left this unfinished during hiatus. It's been maddening for me. This is my personal arch nemesis all this time. Also, I'm looking forward to just doing more of the series, and we have to finish this one to move on. So you know, first things first. That true hot air balloon final form again? I can't believe he thought the hot air balloon would be inconspicuous, but I guess nobody noticed him, so I can't argue with results. I suppose. So, we're going to wrap it up here. We do, of course, as always, have one last thing to do before we call it quits, and that is... let's see who all else is online. So, if you are not done watching Twitch today, maybe I can send you somewhere cool. I would certainly like the opportunity to try. So, while I take a look to see who all is live right now, there's some links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already, including a link to my Discord if you'd like to chat with me or the rest of the community outside of the stream. Feel free to jump in there. And we also have a link to my YouTube if you'd like to check out any of the games I've played in the past, including if you want to get caught up on this game, or if you want to check out any of the other Ace Attorney games I've played in the past, or just anything I've streamed before. It's all up there. All of it is up there. So feel free to jump in there, check that out. And where are we headed today? Ooh, actually, I see where we're going today. As one of my favorite streamers is playing a very highly acclaimed game that I have never personally played, despite the fact I have every reason in the world to do so, which is pretty surprising. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would really appreciate it if you would join me as we go check out very good friend of the stream, Mr. Retrograde Tom. He is one of my very favorite streamers on all of Twitch. He plays lots of very cool retro games. Usually he leans towards adventure games, point-and-click stuff, but today, oh my goodness, today he is playing the original Max Payne, which somehow, despite the fact I'm a huge Remedy fanboy, I have never played. So this is going to be interesting for me to see, most definitely. Why don't you join me over there, say hi to Tom, hang out for a bit, throw him a follow if you like what he's doing, but hey, if you've got other things to do, I will just say as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. I will see you folks tomorrow for the grand finale of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Hope I'll see you then.